Hi everyone. I've been getting a lot of questions about my Rio Grande 4570 by Rossi that I have in my first two videos. And so I thought I'd give you a review on it, see what my thoughts, my views on the rifle. I have had no issues whatsoever. Well, the biggest issue would be the loading gate, and I'll get to that in a little while. It has a 20-inch barrel. Has a brass bead sight, just your standard iron sight in the back, nothing real fancy there. Does come with a Picatinny rail, so you can load a scope onto it. My view, that most of the time I have this off. I put it on here just for the review. It's one reason why it's kind of loose right now. Does it work? Yes. Be very picky about the scope you put on it. The recoil of a 4570 is a little more than most scopes are made for. It's an awesome shooter, accurate. I've only shot up to 100 yards with it. I know it'll go a lot further than that, but for me, that's just the farthest I've had to shoot with it. Really good on range. To me, it's better with open sights. Does have a good safety for all you safety freaks out there, by the way. Safety's on. The safety shows green when it's safe. Put that at half cock. Red when you're ready to fire. Empty chamber. Now that that's out of the way. When you first get it, the lever's going to be a little rough. Don't worry about that. It will get better. Go through, clean the rifle, clean it real well, lubricate it, take it out to the range, fire a couple of rounds through it, check each and every one of these screws afterwards. The first time you fire it, this is going to be this gun's shakedown. You're going to have a couple of these work themselves loose. Not a big deal. Just retighten them. After that, you're going to be probably okay. I haven't had any of mine come loose again since that first initial loosen up. Just remember to check it. The lever, you'll notice every time you go out, well, you'll notice after the first 50, 60 rounds through it, it'll actually get a lot smoother. Put another 20 to 50 rounds through it, and that's going to be probably about where you're going to hold. You'll have a fairly smooth action, and it actually works pretty good. The loading gate. This is everybody's big deal on this rifle, and that is it will literally tear your bullets up, and possibly you if you get your finger in the way trying to get a bullet in there. Thing's got a 6-round tubular magazine. Trying to load it up to that 6 rounds can be a hassle. It's alright, take a pre-fired cartridge. Do not take a loaded round. It's not smart. Especially if you have kids in the house, you're just asking for trouble. Take a pre-fired cartridge, stick it in there, leave it alone for a few days. Pull it out and check and see if you've got a little bit better play in it. Me, I kind of toughed it out. After loading 200 rounds through it, it softens up and it gets to where it's a little bit better. It's light. It's only 6.5 pounds, so it's one of the lightest 4570s on the market. And that is good and bad. It doesn't help on the recoil section of things, but if you got to carry this thing around all day, some of you do, some of you don't. If you got to carry it around, it's actually okay for it being light. It's actually that you'll enjoy that part. It does come for the mounts to put a strap on it. I haven't bothered with it. One day I may put a strap on it, but I really don't see the need to. Large loop lever. Had one reviewer ask me if that gave me an edge. Not really. The large loop lever versus a normal loop lever, both of them work, folks. It really does. The big thing with the large loop lever is it is easier if, when you're hunting, normally it's pretty cold when hunting season, you got gloves on, getting your hands in there with gloves on a large loop lever is 10 times easier than it is with a normal lever. That's the biggest difference. For all you guys out there who have asked the question and who are about to ask it, can you twirl it? Can you do tricks with it? Yes, you can. No, don't. It's not smart. You twirl this rifle and you have, at some point in time, that barrel is pointed at, guess who? You. Have I twirled mine? Yeah, empty. And just to see if I could do it, after that I was done. I was happy. If you've got to do it and you want to see if it'll load around while doing it, go to the store, buy some dummy rounds, fake rounds. Not blanks, but actual fake plastic cap, snap cap rounds. And try feeding those through there and do it that way. By no means should you do that with a loaded round. It's just, it's unsafe. It's not smart. Don't do it. Let's see, what else can I say? The butt pad that comes on here, really, really spongy. Really good. I haven't seen the need to put a different pad on there. The 45-70 round does, it kicks, but it's a different type of kick than what you're used to. To me, it actually kind of, it pushes. Hence why I don't like bench shooting with this. When you're bench shooting, everything's kind of, your body's more walled up, and it gives this rifle nowhere to go. If you're standing to where you can move with it, to where it can push you, you can shoot this thing all day long. It's not going to hurt you. You might be a little sore the next day if you put 150 rounds through it, but it's possible. It's not going to hurt you that bad. The minute you try and block yourself and make it to where you aren't moving, so when it goes somewhere, it's going into you, that's where it's going to hurt. That's where you're going to have problems. The 45-70 is an awesome round. It really is. It's an old round. It was first designed as a military round. The government still uses this cartridge today. I believe mostly it is a line throwing cartridge, though. It is not a, I don't believe they still use the bullet. They might. But I believe their main purpose is for line throwing, rescue operations, and such. If you're wondering about hunting, you can take this thing from boar hunting, deer hunting, to bear hunting. It all depends on which round you get. If you're buying rounds, you know, which bullet versus, you know, the powder charge, everything, the bullet weight, that's where you're going to vary. Heavier bullet, bear. Lighter bullet, deer. Simple. I believe the lightest bullet I've seen for these would probably be this one here. I believe this is the 250 grain Hornady bullet, and it's the fastest out of the bunch. So awesome deer hunting round. You want to go bear hunting with it, I would suggest probably hitting the minimum of the 405. It'd probably be my choice. Not only that, 405 really, especially if you're plinking targets, it's one of the cheapest rounds you can reload in the 45-70. Go buy a bunch of laser cast bullets or any lead bullets that are in the 405 range. You can buy them, like, I believe it's $120 for 500 of them, give or take $20. So sometimes you can find cheaper than that even. Really, it's a great round. It's cheap to shoot if you reload. As cheap as you're going to get. But all in all, I mean, to me, this is my go-to rifle. This is if I need to get something done, this is it. Well, I hope you liked your review. I'll be doing more reviews on a 30-40 Krag, probably a Mosin. I'll also be doing one on a Mossberg Maverick, 12 gauge. So, if you have any thoughts, let me know. Be happy to answer any questions you have. So, till then, y'all take care.